Hi, friends, and welcome to the Human Thrive podcast. So, I'm Amanda, your host, and I'm a coaching consultant and founder of Neurodivergent Thrive Coaching. So, this is a space where we explore the messy, meaningful work of becoming who you really are. So, each week we'll dive into real stuff: self-trust, emotional resilience, mindset shifts, and the habits that help you thrive, not just survive. So, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress, self-compassion, and becoming more you. So, today we're going to talk about something that can completely shift how you see your patterns in your life, your past, and even those bad habits that you wish to break. So, the idea is that every behaviour has a positive intention behind it. So, even the behaviours that aren't good for you, that you might consider to be your bad habits, they have a positive intention behind them. So, what I mean by this? Let me tell you, so years ago when I had this, probably still do, habit of procrastinating, especially with like assignments, leaving them to the last minute or leaving work to the last minute and just avoid tasks and couldn't get started until like the last minute. But when you think about that in terms of avoiding things to the last minute and then getting super stressed and having to pull an all-nighter and somehow make it work, from the outside, it can look like you just need more discipline, you need more organizational skills. But when you start unpacking it, this could be that this pattern is protecting you from a fear of failure. Because if you don't do well in an assignment, then you can say, oh, well, I didn't give myself enough time, or I left it to the last minute. Oh, it's because I left it to the last minute. There's like an excuse for why you didn't do as well as you expected. Not that I always failed or anything, but you don't do as well. You don't give yourself that chance to do as well. And that fear of that failure, it's almost like, oh, sure, I didn't really do it that well, or she didn't really prepare very well, or maybe you're going for an interview and you haven't prepared well. So you can almost tell yourself, oh, but sure, I didn't prepare enough, or, because you're afraid of failing, or as you see it, not getting the job, not getting the marks you want. And that procrastination, that behaviour of putting stuff off, not preparing, it's almost like trying to keep you safe because you have that underlying fear of failure. So it's a strategy, not a great one, but it can be a protective one. And something you see with coaching clients all the time. Like another one is like comfort eating. Whenever someone overeats, and I'm a big comfort eater, and I know I'm doing it not because I'm hungry, because it's that comfort you're getting in the food is hiding something else. So the positive intention behind it is to cope with the other thing. So it's not always about lacking willpower, but food is your most reliable comfort. It's been a comfort from we were babies and we were drinking milk. Food is a comfort, and we do food. We go out to eat to celebrate. We go to commiserate. It's a comfort. It is a comfort. We don't just eat because we're hungry. But this overeating is a positive intention. It's comforting us. Same with procrastination, or putting off assignments the last minute because you have a fear of failure. Another one is people who avoid conflict. Often it's not because they're weak or they can't deal with it, but maybe perhaps they grew up in a house that there was a lot of conflict, and maybe it meant kind of danger, or something happened when there was that conflict, and now they want to avoid that. So these behaviours are not random. We've learned these ways to survive. And even if they don't serve us now, at one point they did serve a purpose. So a powerful concept in psychology, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which I'm studying an advanced course on at the minute. And it talks about every behaviour has a positive intention. So we're all doing the best that we can at this moment in time. So even the things that we criticize for, the numbing, maybe with overeating, maybe with alcohol, nicotine, whatever it is, overthinking, self-sabotage, they're often trying to meet a need that we have for either safety, control, comfort, or connection. And it doesn't excuse the harmful behaviour, but it helps us understand it. And when we understand it, we can go from judgment to curiosity, and that's where we can begin to change this. So our brains are wired to avoid pain and seek comfort. That's what our brains do to keep us alive. And I feel like I say this every time. It's like our brains are wired for survival, not necessarily for our growth, but to keep us alive. So they're wired to avoid pain and to always seek safety, which is why it's difficult to get out of your comfort zone, because that's your safe place and you just want to stay there. And that's because you're safe. You're not going out into this field where there's predators and there's people after you. You're staying in this. But obviously we have to, if we want to evolve and meet our full potential and thrive in life, then we need to go beyond our programming and our brain's just need for survival. So when you shut down, lash out, scroll endlessly, or hold back, procrastinate, comfort eat, it's not that you're flawed. It's a clue. It's a clue of what your body is asking for. And it's saying, I am trying to help you feel safe. So when we can recognize that and like, what is this? So what is this behavior telling me? What do I need right now? I know I'm not hungry and I want to eat this whole box of chocolate. What is this need really? It's not that I'm hungry for all this chocolate. What is this asking me, and what I am trying to keep myself safe right now? So when we can recognize this intention behind our behavior, we can stop beating ourselves up, stop fighting ourselves, and start healing the parts of us that need that care. Because trying to change a behavior by shaming it, it just digs it in deeper. So comfort eating, a lot of shame around comfort eating. But when you're kinder to yourself and asking, right, what is this doing for me? And is there something, a better behavior that I can replace this with that will still give me that feeling of safety? And what is this part of me trying to do for me? And just opens the door to something softer and something more healing. So a simple check-in that you can try is when you feel like engaging in a behavior, whether it's procrastination, overeating, even people pleasing, overcommitting, these are all behaviors that we engage in that are meeting a need. And we can ask ourselves, right, okay, what is this need? Think about the behavior and ask instead, why do I keep doing this? What need is this trying to meet? So just get curious with yourself. And is this behavior helping me feel safe? Is it helping me feel less alone? Is it helping me feel more in control? Is it trying to protect me from failure or from judgment or even from success? Some people have a fear of success, and it's something that's not talked about as much. I'll maybe do a podcast episode on it, but you might even want to write it out again if you're a fan of journaling or writing, or you can just be thinking it. So this behavior is trying to help me by. And then if you're into writing or even leaving yourself a voice message, talking it out when no one's hearing, talking it out loud or writing just seems to be more powerful than just thinking it, but that's my thoughts. So this behavior is trying to help me by, and let it flow and see, just sit with that and see what comes up into your head, because our bodies are so clever, our mind's clever. If we ask it, it will come to you. And let me know how you get on. And ask yourself, is there a kinder way to meet this need? So is there a behavior that I can replace this with that is kinder and that is better for my body and mind? And so that's the shift from just coping to choosing, to having a more positive intention. So a coaching tip then is, when you catch yourself in that moment of judgment, if you're engaging in a behavior that you want to not do and you want to stop, try and reframe it. So you're not shaming yourself, you're not beating yourself up, you're not getting annoyed at yourself, you're being kind to yourself that this is a behavior I'm doing because it helps me feel this way, but I can replace this with something new that is healthier, but also gives me that same feeling of safety. So we're naming that part. So this part of me is trying to help by. So like comfort eating, it's trying to help me by dealing with these emotions. It's keeping me feeling safe and it's offering me some relief from this and offer an upgrade. So thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm going to learn a new way now. I'm going to try a breathing technique. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to put on some of my favorite music and dance about the living room. Some way to move your body is great. And these simple shifts help your nervous system kind of soften, relax, and it tells your inner parts that you're not bad. You're doing your best with what you know now. And now that you're learning more, you can make better choices. And if you feel any resistance or feel a bit stuck, it's not that you're doing it wrong. There's resistance. There's resistance to change when you try to change things in yourself. And growth is not easy. Personal development's not easy. It's not a wishy-washy thing. It's real hard work on yourself. And you're learning a new way to relate to yourself. That takes time. So always be compassionate and be kind to yourself. So remember, even the behaviour, the ones you don't like, they have a positive intention behind them. And when you meet yourself with curiosity instead of criticism, you began to heal and not just manage the symptoms. So you don't have to be perfect. You just need to feel understood, especially by yourself. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Human Thrive podcast, where growth is gentle and thriving is personal. If today's episode resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you share, leave a review or subscribe so more beautiful humans like you can find their way here. And remember, you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to keep showing up with honesty and heart. And until next time, keep choosing self-compassion. And thank you for listening. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Bye.